sometimes there's reasons why. That literally scared it out of me. Well, hello. How are you guys doing? I'm at the lake. It looks like there's people swimming in the lake. You're not supposed to, which I can care less, but that water is not the cleanest. I wouldn't swim in it, you know? I put my microphone in because I keep forgetting anytime I come to the lake or something like that, it's a little windy. Really quickly, I have on the lip gloss right here. You guys can see. It is from Ofra Cosmetics. So if you don't know who Hot Mess Mama 4, she goes by Instagram. Hot Mess Mama MD on YouTube. She did a collab with Ofra. She did like a palette. And then she also did a lipstick and lip gloss. And I have the lip gloss on and I absolutely love it. If you use code JustAnn, you can save 30% off. But I'm not just saying it, and she is a friend of mine. I really do like it. I really, really do. I want to tell you what happened to me yesterday and what's been going on with me. And it's really good. Like, I'm so happy. So, most of you guys know, right? My mom passed away on Thanksgiving in 2019. So this Thanksgiving will be the 3rd year. Okay, so, you know, Thanksgiving's a hard holiday for me. Thanksgiving's been tough with me, especially the first year, the first anniversary. Why? Well, the first anniversary, so when my mom passed away, my mom and my grandmother left me the house. You know, my grandmother died 9 months prior in February. And I couldn't move into that house because it was my childhood home for a whole year. So I didn't move in to that following October. It's a hard holiday for me. But I do believe when things happen to you, it's the way that you think. And I don't know why I did that separately. And I really have been changing the way that I think. That actually this Thanksgiving, I'm not like excited for, but I'm not sad about. I truly believe this is a sign. So let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. Well, most of you know, like, I have a main channel, JustAnn, and I do unboxings and stuff like that. And I film in the attic where my bedroom and stuff is. Now, my grandmother moved into that home in 1979. And in 79, the attic was already converted into like, kind of like a bedroom. So it doesn't look like an attic, right? But they never put any ducts in it, okay? So if you have central air, you can't get no air up in there, or the heat doesn't go up because there's no ducts. So I have to have a window air condition in the summer months, and then I have to have like a fireplace that has like a heat, you know, to plug in. Otherwise, you know, it's just unbearable, right? These teenagers here are having bottles. If you hear that noise, and they're playing like golf, and they're shooting the bottles, the glass in the water. So anyway, I have to have that. I lost my train of thought. I'm like, I can't believe these kids are doing this. Anyway, so I have to have a window air conditioner in. And because when you're in the attic, it's like 10 to 15 degrees more hotter up there. Like, we start putting the AC on like May. Even though in Jersey, it doesn't start getting hot till like the middle of June, right? So I was editing or doing something. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was in my room most of the day handling like business stuff, right? Like on the computer and stuff. And I go to step down, and we have an area rug up there. And when I stepped down, it was wet. And so I stand up. I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, you could see my footprint. It was so wet. And I'm like, did I drop a water bottle or something? Like, what? You know, that's the first thing I'm thinking. Like, I'm looking, I don't see anything, you know. And then I happen to look, so where the air conditioner is the window, and then it's almost right by like the wall, the corner, and that's where my closet is. And I don't know why I didn't think right away, but after a few minutes, I'm like, is this coming from the air condition? So I happen to look, and on the window seal is like about 1 inch of water or 1/2 inch of water, and you can see with the air conditioner running that the water is just coming out of the AC. And so anyway, it got all on the floor, so much so, hence why there was water underneath my area rug, into the closet. Now remember, I'm telling you, into the closet. So what happened was, because we're in the attic, okay, and so it was on the 3rd floor, trees and stuff, okay, so the leaves are falling, getting caught, it's clogging up, it clogged up the back of the air conditioner. So that's why the water then started coming in, okay? So he takes the air conditioner out, takes it outside, hoses it down, cleans it, bleaches it, all that kind of stuff, you know. Then you have to let it dry out. So then, like last night, we were able to put it back in the window. Air conditioner's working perfectly. Now, of course, I had to like get all the water up and stuff like that. Now, I'm going through some legal things that I have to do, okay, that, you know, I had to find my mom's death certificate. And I could not find it. I mean, I know I can order more, but I'm like, I know I have a couple death certificates up in my room, but I just couldn't remember where I put them at, you know? And I kept like saying, like out loud, where did I put this at? And I would talk to my mom, Mom, help me, or, you know, whatever. Where did I put this at? Show me a sign. Well, when I started taking today everything out of the closet, because I film up there and it's me and my husband's room, and the attic isn't so big, so you kind of like throw as much as you can up in. We have 3 closets up there, right? And long and behold, in a bag, in a folder, was my mom's death certificates. Had that not had happened, I would not have found the death. Well, I would have eventually, but I wouldn't have looked in there, because I don't know why I would put it in there all the way on the floor in the corner. I don't know. And I was like, wow. And also then I thought, well, I'll tell you what, I'll never take for granted AC running, because just for those couple hours, it was hot as hell up in there, you know, and I worried about my makeup. I'm like, I'm going to have to start taking my foundation, all cream products and stuff, and lipsticks downstairs. You know what I mean? But it's like, never again will I take for granted air conditioning, you know? So that taught me a lesson too. Like how good I got it. When I think I have it that bad, I'm blessed, you know? Now, going back to Thanksgiving. Remember I said it's the way that you're thinking. Well, ever since, you know, my little health scare, you know, I've been doing better, you know, as far as my walk and talk. Did have one little weak moment where I relapsed, right? But that's because I stopped going to cardiac rehab. I stopped doing things. I got depressed before I got my car. So I start feeling sorry for myself again, right? We all get there. You know, I'm not perfect. I started going, after that little relapse, I started reading my Bible more. And I've always watched church, but I watched more church than I normally do. And then during the weekday. And, you know, every morning I've been getting up. And you guys know when I do my walk and talks, I always talk about how beautiful it is outside. I start my day differently than what I was when I was going through all that, like negative, or talking on the phone, and then like negative and gossiping and all that kind of stuff, or going right to my emails, or going right to, you know, like my comment section, instead of, I have to drink my coffee, right? But instead of like reading my books, meditating, going outside and thanking God, and you understand what I'm saying, like how I used to be. So when I started doing that, the positivity and the way your mind thinks, when you change the way you think, positivity starts happening, right? So going to the store, fall things are coming out. Fall reminds me of Thanksgiving, the day my mother passed on. And so, you know, every time I see anything fall, you know, immediately I think of my mother. And I think, oh God, Thanksgiving. But now I'm thinking, this is how I thought. I said, you know what can I learn out of this? And I thought, my mother was always about family. My grandmother always said, you know, we have a very small family, but we're all very close. And so Thanksgiving was a big part. My whole adult life, okay, because I was pregnant at 18, had my son at 19. When I moved to my first apartment, which was the projects, I always started cooking once I had my kids, and my mom then would come over there. So my whole adult life, I'm the one who always did Thanksgiving dinner, you know? And then when my mom and grandma start getting sick, I would cook it and then I would either pick them up, or then I started towards the end bringing them plates of food. You know, we would all eat together. I kept thinking, what is the lesson? Why? You know, because for a couple of years I was so angry with my mom. I'm like, out of all days, Thanksgiving. And then I thought about it. Thanksgiving for our family was about being thankful and about family. And I thought, my mom and God, were they trying to teach me like how things could be taken out of your life? Was that a reminder of how close with your family and your loved ones and just never taking for granted what you have, because it can easily be taken from. And it may sound stupid, it may sound ridiculous, but how I think is helping me cope with my mom passing on Thanksgiving. Because I'm starting to do more positive things, hanging around positive people, like talking to positive people, getting myself back in my faith, doing my walk and talks, taking care of my body, taking care of my health, changing the way I think in the morning, how I handle the whole day. I simply asked, please show me a sign, help me find the death certificates. And then the air condition breaks, which made me go into the closet to clean to find the death certificates. Do you see what I mean? I'm gonna start walking. I just never could sit in one spot, you know? It's that like ADD or something. I don't know why, I just can't do it. But yeah, so I really, really believe that. Like, you know, I used to think, poor me. 3 kids by 3 different men. They never took care of my kids. They never helped. I mean, my youngest son, Isaiah, he just turned 18. His father owes me, what, like $66,000 in child support? But then I think, but Ann, those are the choices that you made. You knew that man, especially Isaiah's dad, was no good. You still chose to sleep with him without protection. I was friends with him for 2 years. We worked together. He comes over one day. Didn't have any intention of sleeping with him or anything. This is when I used to drink. Had a few beers. One thing led to another. Let's be real. You get pregnant. He wanted a DNA test, which I don't blame him. I think every man should get a DNA test. That way you never have those doubts. Of course, it came back 99.998 or whatever it was percent that it was his. Isaiah was his. He didn't really have anything to do with Isaiah. He has 6 kids, including Isaiah. Isaiah's the only boy. He has 5 girls. He's not really a part of any of his kids' life. But, you know, I was so angry with him, and I mean, I think he's a deadbeat, but what was my part to blame? I didn't know him. I knew him from work, but I didn't know him. The first night we get together, I drink, I sleep with him with no protection. I have to take part blame for that too. I always said, well, how come me living in the projects? But, well, guess what? I made that choice at 18 to get pregnant, right? A lot of things happened to me, get it out, Ann, was because of choices that I made. I made the choices of hanging with those friends. I made the choices of acting out. I made that choice to put that crack pipe in my mouth. I made that choice to party and drink Coors Light was my beer. I made all those choices. I made the choice not to go to college, not to wait to have kids. The first guy that told me he loved me, that I didn't really know, 4 months of being with him, I get pregnant, then wonder why am I in this abusive relationship? Well, you didn't know the man. You didn't know what kind of guy he was. 3-4 months, you're on your best behavior. So, part of it is my fault. You know what I mean? It's not, and now that I think differently, changing the way that I think, I look at things differently is my point. All right, when I was talking, do you notice I kept looking, told you of those, they look like teenagers. And I just couldn't stop myself. I had to go over there and say something. I mean, they were literally taking a golf stick and hit bottles, glass bottles, and hitting it like in the water. And you know, the geese and stuff are in there. You know how I feel about my geese. Let me show you the water here. Ooh, that sun. Listen to that. Isn't that beautiful? How clear. Hopefully, I know the sun is like different like that. See, that kind of sound, I would have my little chair and I would put it right here and have my feet in it where the water would go up to my ankles. And that noise, I would literally fall asleep to for hours. Wake up, be sunburnt, look like a lobster. But just that peace. And that's what I used to do, like when I was depressed and stuff. And I stopped doing that for many, many years. Oh my God, there's a butterfly. I've been seeing butterflies a lot as well. Like I'm trying to find somewhere for shade so you can see me a little better. But yeah, that water is beautiful. Yeah, so I just wanted to come on. I'm going to take some laps around here and, just walk. Probably walk for about 30 minutes. But I wanted to come on here and just like talk to you about, when we think we have it so bad, sometimes it's just changing the way that you think. Instead of the poor me, or why does this always happen to me, or, change the way you think. See, sometimes I would look at things like, okay, a marriage, right? If a marriage ended or a relationship ended, like boyfriend, girlfriend, or friendships or whatever, you think like, why? But sometimes God has to take those people out of your lives for a reason. Sometimes there's a blessing that's getting ready to happen, but maybe the person that you're with is not on the same path. And whatever God blesses you, your partner usually gets, right? Or your friends get, or whatever the case may be. But maybe he's not ready for them to have a blessing. So they take them out of your life so that he can bless you. Does that make sense? Sometimes there's reasons. Oh God, I don't know what the heck that was, but I thought I stepped on a snake. I am petrified of snakes, and I don't want to go back over there. Did you hear that noise? That literally scared the out of me. But yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit. Yeah, because maybe if you're going through some things, and if I always say, I say these story times, or I don't know, motivational speaks, I don't know what you would call them, motivational videos, because if I can help just one person, I did my job. And ever since I've been going to counseling, it has taught me though, like my childhood trauma, or different things like my teens and stuff. I didn't realize, I realized I can carry over in adulthood, but you hear so many people say, once you're an adult, you got to forget about it, what you were a child, but that's not always true. If you don't deal with your trauma, regardless how old you were, you take it into your adult life. Then you take it out on people. And then and then you have trauma after trauma. And then you have that victim mentality. And so you have to. Like, I wish I would have went to counseling. Like, I think I shared a story how I did go to counseling years ago, and I just didn't like it, so I thought, oh, counseling's not for me. But sometimes if you gotta go through 10 different people to find the right one. Like the one that I go to now, I love. I go usually either once a week, on Mondays or Tuesdays. This week I go on Thursday, tomorrow. And like, I can't wait to talk to her. And she's really been helping me, like going through all of this stuff. And then I was ashamed, like when I had the relapse. But let me just say, I didn't practice what I preach. Every day you wake up is another day to change your life. So people that bring stuff up that happened to me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I'm not saying that they do, I'm just talking, a week ago, who cares? Who cares what people think of you? Who cares? What people think of you is none of your business. And like I told you guys before, like my mother-in-law taught me, what other people eat doesn't make you shit. Right? In other words, it don't matter what people say or whatever. That has no reflect on you. It reflects on them. Remember that. Because, I used to always think, oh my God, these people say I'm toxic, I'm this, I'm that. What do I care what people think of me that I've never met or don't know me? That shows more on them than it does me. I look at it like, I used to get so upset with myself, like that mom guilt. I always knew I was a good mother, but I had that mom guilt with my children, right? I raised them in the projects, single mom, their fathers weren't in their life, blah, 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 blah. But I look at my kids now, okay? My 26-year-old makes more money than me and my husband put together. None of them have any kids, okay? My 22-year-old, she works with seniors. She loves the elderly. Anytime she goes out to one of her friends' house or out to eat, she brings me a plate or calls me, Mommy, you want me to bring you home anything? Are you hungry? She asks me every day, Mommy, did you eat? She likes to spend time with me. My 18-year-old, let me tell you what he just did. So me and him were just talking, and I was like, Isaiah, for the rest of the month, I said, I'll be filming a lot and vlogging. And I said, because the first couple weeks, I didn't film a lot, so that means I won't get paid as much. So I really have to start putting out more videos. I never talk to my kids about money, bills, anything. We go food shopping earlier in the month. Came to almost $600. It's a few dollars off. So I go to, the guy was ringing up the groceries, and I was putting the stuff in the thing, and he said the price, I think it was like $5.93 or something like that. Before I can go pay for it, Isaiah takes his debit card out, pays for it. I didn't ask him, and I did not know he was going to do that. And I said, Isaiah, why'd you do that? He said, Mom, I don't want you to stress. I got it. I mean, so this whole time I felt guilty about raising my kid, and I look at it like I did damn good, right? None of them have kids. Not that if there's anything wrong with it having it, I'm just saying, my daughter, especially my daughter, that saying, Mama's baby, Papa's maybe, a guy can get up and go like this and walk away, not have anything to do with it. But when it's yours, that came out of you, you're stuck with your baby, right? And they're all doing great in their lives. None of them got arrested. Except for my oldest son, he was 16, and I only had to come because he was a minor. But never again. My kids have never been in trouble with the law. I think I did pretty daggone good compared to how I was. My kids don't remember when I used to drink or drugs. They don't know that mom. They know this mom. But no, I would go back to thinking about, oh God, I remember when I couldn't have Christmas. I don't know what is over there, but I was scared. That was a branch. I literally, I almost start running with the selfie stick in my hand, but it was a damn branch. Oh gosh. What was I saying now? But they don't remember that. I remember one year I could only get them like 2 toys a piece. They were so happy because they got what they wanted. You know what I mean? So 3 kids having only 6 things under the tree, and I couldn't get them a stocking. I remember one year I say to my daughter, like my kids, Santa's got to go to, because there's other kids that don't have. I didn't even put a Christmas tree up that year because I felt so guilty. And my daughter goes, Mommy, that's okay. We have enough stuff. Isaiah was young, he didn't know, and my oldest son, he didn't care. See what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying, sometimes we think too much. And we get set in the way that we think, when that's not really what's going on. That's how we're thinking. So we have to change the way that we think. And now I think I don't feel guilty anymore, because I don't want to ever go through that again, experience again. I wish, I miss when my kids were young. I wish I could go through that again, but not the predicament I was in. But I think, well, I did a good job. Why do I feel so guilty when I did a good job on my kids? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know I'm talking your ear off. I'm very talkative today, but it's just been really weighing on my mind. And that air condition, it really made it real for me. I see the sign. I see it. And ever since I've been doing positivity, look, I still have my faults. Let's be real. I still get upset and vent and everything else. I am not perfect. I am human. I am a sinner. I am not perfect, okay? But for the most part, every day I wake up, thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. I notice my life is the best that I've had, besides the relapse, the best that I've had in years. Everything's going great. I even have my car. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything is going good. It's because I have my faith again. And I'm looking at life differently. I know I keep repeating myself, but like I said, maybe, I don't know if somebody needs to hear this, because it's weighing on me to talk about it. It weighed on me all day to make this video to talk about it, and I don't know why. So maybe somebody needs to hear this. Yeah, the kids left. I walked up here because I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, I was like, I said what I said. I didn't get ignorant with them, and they were very respectful. Yeah, I'll show you where they were at. So they were right here, and they were set up here, and they were shooting it in the water here. I mean, I guess you could look at it. It's a nice little golf thing. I don't know. Some things I know I should mind my own business, but some things I can't help it. Like, if you noticed, when I was sitting there talking, I kept looking over. It's like I couldn't get that out of my mind. Like, and you got to say something. I remember, I'll tell you this quick story real quick with my mom. My mom didn't care either. She had no fear of anybody, and whatever she thought was right, she did. She never called the cops. She didn't get cops involved. It was never nothing like that, but she had a mouth, okay? And I remember when I was living because I lived in a few projects, but this one project, you got to be careful. I'm taking her back home, so we're going back into my car. And a group of guys had their dogs with them, their pits, and you can tell they were using them for fighting, and they were getting roused up. And my mom goes, "What are you guys doing?" And they looked, and I go, "Mom, shut up," And she goes, "No!" Like, and she pushed me off of her, and she was went off. They didn't say anything to her, of course, and I took her in, and I get on the car. I was like, "Mom, you're lucky that they knew me. Had you been, I mean, you can get shot. You don't," but it's like she had no fear. She always did what was right. Some people, they just walk away. They don't want to get involved, but not my mom. I've always respected my mom for that. Even though she did that, I was looking out for her safety and mine too, and I have to live out there, but in the back of my mind, I was like, I've always respected you for that, and that's just how she was. She just taught me who I am, and I just have a lot of respect for her, and I miss her because they don't make too many people like my mom or my grandmother. They don't. All right, I'm gonna get off of here, and like I said, I don't know, maybe one person needed to hear that. I don't know why it was so heavy on me to talk about, just about changing the way that we think. Like when I talk about the things like with forgiveness, right? I always say, sometimes we have to forgive. Doesn't mean you have to talk to people. It doesn't mean you have to be their friend, but sometimes you need to forgive for yourself to get that bad energy away. Because the more you hold on to anger or hurt, it just ruins you. It does. And why allow somebody to live rent-free in your brain? They're not paying rent. Why do you allow them to live there? If that makes sense. Every time I come to this lake, do you remember when I first came, it was like anxiety because it's where me and my mom, and then I also missed my kids because they were little here and they're all grown. But it's so relaxing for me now. You would have told me this a few months ago, I would have been like, yeah, right. It's very relaxing, and maybe that's why I start thinking too, because it's just so peaceful. It reminds me how I was when I was younger, and I used to come out here and just sit and listen to the water and stuff. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, let me know what you think about what I said in the comments down below. Do you agree with me? Do you think, something you just have to change the way you think? Do you think sometimes things happen, they just happen? Let me know. Give me your thoughts down below. I really, really want to know what you guys think. And, yeah, that's everything, guys. Please like this video. It really does help me out. Or you could dislike it. That helps me out too. Leave a comment and let me know what you did today, because your girl is nosy. And let me know what you think of these, sometimes and once in a while, the motivational videos. Or I don't even know if it's a motivational video. I don't know what you would call it, but let me know. And oh, really quickly, I forgot. I've been telling you I was going to go to that farm with the sunflower field. I forgot or didn't realize that it was a holiday this weekend. So there's no way I can go this weekend. It'll be so busy, So I'll definitely have to go next week, because the kids here in Jersey don't start school till next week. So, all right, guys, stay beautiful, stay blessed, stay healthy, And most importantly, always stay you no matter what. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.